Hello everyone, this is Diane. It is Monday. My snow is almost gone because we've had so much rain. And it's actually getting kind of warm. It's in the 40s today, but it's going to get cold tomorrow. So, it is winter, so this is what we get here in the Northeast. Today I just want to do a little what's on my desk. So some of it is some things I acquired today, and some of it is what my next project is. Let's start with what I acquired today. I went to the post office and mailed some packages, and I need to talk to you just a little bit about the packages that you guys have ordered and are expecting, and I'm getting messages almost every day concerned about your orders because they are running late. So I've talked to them at the post office today, and there are 11 packages that I sent on December 4th, and then like 7 or 8 more that I sent on December 8th that still say, if you look at the tracking, they still say that they are waiting to be accepted in Athens, which is where I live. So I talked to them at the Athens post office, and what happens is they send them out to a processing facility the very day. They cannot have anything stay overnight. No packages stay in my local post office overnight. So they either go to Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, or they go to Philadelphia. So when it shows that they're still sitting in Athens, it means that they are still on a mail truck, either at Lehigh Valley or at Philadelphia. So as soon as I get them off the truck and scan them into their post office there, then it shows that they have been received and accepted at these stations. And then they start moving. So I've noticed that they have been sitting there for 2 to 3 weeks before they get accepted. And I think it's starting to move a little bit faster now. So I know that the U.S. Postal Service has been having difficulty this holiday season. So I hope that you will all be patient. The things are moving. They are not lost. They are not just being held up in my post office. They are on a truck and they are in transit, as the thing says. So sorry for taking so long for that, but I'm hoping that this will help answer your questions. And if anybody messages me about their order, of course, that's fine. I will answer them when they message me. But if you have an order that you're waiting for, hopefully this will help. Okay, so when I went to the post office, I went across the street to the little vendor's secondhand shop there that my friend has some things in. And I wanted to see if she was doing okay, because she had hand surgery a couple weeks ago and I hadn't seen her. But when I went in there, and she's doing okay, she had this for me just in case I came in. And sometimes she has books for sale, and sometimes she just gives me some that she just doesn't think she's going to sell. And I love this one. Isn't that beautiful? Now, I've had some with a very similar cover with this inside, slightly different colors on the outside, in horrible shape, but I made journals out of them. I mean, they were just falling apart. But you can see the corners are scuffed up pretty badly, but they are still in good enough condition that I would make a journal out of this. Isn't that lovely? It's called Consuelo. Is it George Sand? It just says Sand. Yeah, George Sand. I just saw an old movie about George Sand and Chopin. George is her pseudonym, of course. She's a woman. So that's a beautiful book. And look at this. Too bad I won't retain that. All right, and then as I looked around the shop, I saw this one, and I thought I could make an Anne of Green Gables journal out of it. It's not a very vintage book. It says 2003 in here. She had 2 of these, the exact same book, and I only got one. And then as I was driving away, I thought maybe I should have gotten 2 of them, and I could make a journal out of one and sell the other one in my shop. So next time I go down, maybe I'll look and see if it's still there. Then I did my shopping at Walmart and decided to look at the papers. I hadn't looked at the scrapbook papers in a long time. I've been disappointed with the scrapbook papers at my craft shops because I look for the thin papers because I like these in junk journals, and a lot of the paper pads are heavier cardstock papers. But I'm not happy with the thin papers that Hobby Lobby has. It's just more of the same of what they've always had. And I've seen some that I like at Michael's, but they're never on sale. So anyway, I picked these up. These were $5 a pad, except for a couple of them were 10, about 10. So I'll show them to you. So these are by Colorbach, and this is 50 sheets, and it has mixed media designs. So I'll just give you a quick flip through of them. I think it works better if I go this way. I'm going to put my arm around my tripod. So there's some script, and some of these I've had in other pads. I've had this one a long time ago. This one, I think it's corrugated cardboard. At first I thought it was twine, but I think it's layers of corrugated cardboard. There's that one. That's pretty. Some burlap, I guess. Dark burlap. I've had this one. Chalkboard. I like that one. Oh, I love this one. Love the color of it. That one's kind of cool. Some postcards and letters. This one's neat. Words painted in different colors. And I've had this one before in a different pad. There's that pretty seafoam green color again. Look at that. That's just gorgeous. Looks like corrugated metal that was painted and peeling and rusted. So pretty. Pretty for a junk journal anyway. So these are really neat pages. And this one's cool with postcards. So they're individual postcards, but it makes up this big picture of, is it Notre Dame? That's what it looks like to me. Then, so that's called Mixed Media by Colorbach, 50 sheets. This one is French Prep, also by Colorbach, and also 50 sheets. I'll go a little more quickly now because I want to talk about my next project. This one has little bluebird or little swallows on it. Fleur de lis, some clocks, very, very beautiful, kind of vintage but with a French flair. I love the blue. So I'm very happy with these papers. Now when you get the thin paper pads at the craft stores, they're 180 pages. But I like that these are smaller packs. Makes them cheaper too. This one, sorry, notification. This one is called Poolside, 50 sheets. This one is beautiful, really pretty blues, and well, there's a green right off the bat, but they're mostly blues. I love this one. Looks like the tiles at a pool. This could very definitely go in a boho journal. So those were about they were $5, or $5.88 now. They used to be $5, but they've gone up to $5.88. Now this one cost closer to $10, and it is Conservatory. It also is by Colorbach with 50 sheets, but it costs more because it is double-sided. So I love that. And it's just a lot of florals, lots of roses and kind of marble, stone marble with these designs, and some succulents and other flowers. I love this, and the poppies there. Look at that design. So, and I like that they're double-sided. I've never seen roses and succulents combined like that into a bouquet or a grouping like that. Some of the pages are quite dark. I'm not thrilled about that. This one's pretty. But I do like that these papers don't have foiling and glitter and stuff like that. And then the other thing I bought that I had never noticed there before, it was kind of set down low on the shelf instead of up where all the other papers were. This is Handmade Papers. It's color block. You get 24 sheets, 6 designs, so there's 4 of each design, and on the very front of it, it's just a sampling of all of the designs you're going to get. So this is a bonus piece right here of each one. So there's this kind of pebbled with a mother of pearl kind of sheen to it. I don't think I have there. I didn't have my other light on. And this silvery flowered one. These are embossed. This one looks like dahlias, and it's white with an mother of pearl sheen on the flowers. There's a heavy chipboard in between, so I can definitely use that. It's very thick, so that's good enough to use for spines. And this is an eggshell color. And another pebbly look with a rose gold color. And then this one. So this one does have glitter, and I don't mind it on these. It's just regular pattern papers. I don't want to have enamel and glitter and stuff, extra stuff. I just want paper for the most part. So that's what I got today, the 2 older books and then a stack of patterned paper, which is exciting. So now let's talk about what my project is. I'm filming this on Monday, and I am going to be finishing up that big ledger journal that's going in my shop this evening. I hope I'm going to sew it together. And by the time you see this video that I'm filming right now, that ledger will have been in my shop. I hope it's going to go in the shop tomorrow, and then you will see this on Wednesday. So I am ready to start a new project, and I'm excited about it. This is going to be a more simple one. This is going to be naked journals, or unembellished journals, whatever you want to call them. And I have several Reader's Digest covers. I don't know how many of them I will actually make, but I have 1, 2. I love this one. And this one is the same pattern, just different colors. 3. This one's really pretty too. 4. Oh, these are the same color. Or the same pattern, I mean. 5. I have 5 covers. So I want to make 2 or 3 at least. And I don't know if I'll make all of them at this point. But maybe I will. So let me show you. I had so much fun just going through and pulling out an eclectic bunch of papers. I have these pages from a book about fashion museum in Japan. It was a very thick book, and I bought it for my bookshelf years ago. And when I moved and I had to make room, I didn't have room for all of my bookshelves in my new house, so I had to get rid of a lot of books. I kept the pages out of that book. So I have that. I have some, this is history. American Heritage, I think, was the book series, and it has maps in it. So I wanted to put some maps in it. I've got quite a few different book pages. I pulled out some pages from my Antiques and Collectibles. Of course, some children's pages. I have got to use some children's book pages. So they come from a variety of books. And I have these covers from Architectural Digest. And I thought they would be nice to use as pages, and they're nice and sturdy. Some magazine pages. Probably some of those are Architectural Digest. Got some more children's. And I pulled out some stationery and some stationery envelopes. And an assortment of wrapping paper. some little ledger pages. Those are not vintage. And some music. And these little planner pages, which are really cute. I've got a whole tablet full of them. Some graph paper, and then I have an assortment of scrapbook paper. So obviously I don't need this much paper. Looks like I'm going to have to do all 5 books. So that's what I'm working with. So today I'm just gonna, I'll pick out a couple covers to start with, and I will pick out some papers. I can, oh, and my friend that I got those other books from told me that she had some Reader's Digest books for me, and I said, well, that's funny because I'm doing a project with Reader's Digest next. So I have, these are all of my Reader's Digest books because I had a lot of them, but I sold a lot because, well, you know, I just don't have time to do them all. But I have one that looks like red denim and one that looks like blue denim, and I love those, and I want to do a little farm journal with those. So I didn't pull them out. But I can take this and make that into the ExLibris that I can put right back on the front cover. Usually they're like this in a Reader's Digest. So I'm just cleaning them up. Reader's Digest don't usually have a really good spine. They end up cracking and coming off. So I always like to replace them even if they're decent at the time that I'm making the book. You can see how worn this is right here. So this is an older book, but I like it. It's not, it hasn't gone through to the book board, but it's worn on the edges, and I think that looks so cool. I love this raspberry color. Then we have the same thing in green. And there's another interesting ExLibris. Oh, I don't think this one goes with this book because the color doesn't match. These always match the end paper colors. The other book, the book that goes with that is in this pile somewhere because I know I had it. So I'm just cleaning up the edges. Oh, there's the ExLibris for this book. That's pretty too. It's got a tree. And this one is 1961. So probably this one is also. My big Tim Holtz scissors work nice for this cleaning up process. I've been saving this mesh that comes off of old book spines. I'm going to be using that in future. This is the one that this goes to. You can use a knife and a ruler if you'd rather than using scissors. Some of you like using knives, like Nancy. She uses a knife and a ruler for just about everything. Instead of her paper trimmer. Maybe she doesn't even have a paper trimmer. And I'm always amazed because I do not like using knives. Well, I'll get that off. This one has a purple inside. That's unusual because I would call that pink, not purple, but maybe. And there's the ExLibris. And then we have this one. I was going to make a woodlands or fall journal out of this, but I haven't done it yet, so I guess you could call this a kind of a stash buster set because I'm using up a bunch of covers and a bunch of eclectic papers that don't really go together. I just think it's fun to put books together that are all eclectic stuff, because I don't have to worry about matching things so much and themes or anything like that, which is what I love to do. That's why I have all this eclectic stuff, and then I end up not using it because I'm doing themed journals, and these things don't go with themed journals. So I think even when I do a themed journal from now on, I'm going to include some eclectic stuff in it, just because that's what I like. Maybe there will be some themed journals that I don't feel comfortable using eclectic stuff. So I have 5 cover sets already. I'm going to set these ExLibris panels aside. Knocked over my tape gun. Okay, so the covers, my lap is all full of shreds from these covers. They're just over 5 inches wide and just over 7.5 inches tall. So I want the pages to be 4 3/4. So 9.5 inches wide before they're folded, and then that's not right, but anyway, I'll figure that out. Maybe 7 1/4 or 7 1/8 high. Probably 7 1/4. These have little seals with them. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I would need 15 if I'm going to put one in each signature, so I've got more in my stationery drawer. These I don't even need to cut. These are various pieces of stationery. I want to have, they're just going to be unembellished pages, but they will have all kinds of different illustrations and text and stuff on them. But I also want them to vary in size to add some more interest. I'm wearing my husband's old sweater. This was actually one of his good sweaters, cardigan sweater. And I haven't gotten it out and worn it yet this year. I just wear it at home when I'm cold. I think he got this for Christmas, just on his last Christmas. So I kept this one. These are, oh, those are pages too. I can use them. They're pretty. Very, very pretty. Got all kinds of stationery, and I've got to use some of it. It's in a shallow drawer, and every time I open it, seems like I open it and pull stuff out of it, and then I put stuff back in, and I still have a hard time closing it without crumpling up the papers. I think I probably just need to organize it better. But I want to use some of it so it isn't so full. That's what I have it for. I want to use it. Probably have more pages here than I need. I wasn't counting them. But I get them all ready and folded so I can compile them into signatures. Looks like I'm going to be making 6 or 5. So I got them all cleaned up. I'm counting for 5, so yeah, it started out being 2. I was going to make 2. Then I thought, well, maybe 3. And then I got them all out to see what covers I had, and oh well. And I got some large book pages. I almost don't want to use these large ones because these are smaller books. Maybe I'll set these aside. Let's make sure I know I have enough smaller pages. If I didn't get them out, I have them in my book page collection. All right, now I think I said 7 1/4, so we're going to test this one out. This is a magazine page from one of those interior decorating books, magazines. And let's see. If I make it 10 inches wide, that would be 5 when I fold it, which would probably be a little too long. So I'm going to make it 9 3/4. I think that's what I said earlier. These are nice sturdy pages. I think that's a pretty good size. I might even want to make them a little shorter. So instead of 7 1/4, I'll make them 7 1/8. I've got to take this sweater off now. In the rest of the house, it's cool, but once I get in here, whoops, and start working, I always get warm. There. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, I think I need to save that one for a peacock journal. I have other peacock images saved, but this one's pretty too. I'm going to try to do 2 at once. Kind of hard because the pages are slippery. I guess I better not. I'll just do a few of each kind so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm using here. I know I showed you what I'm using. And I have more magazine pages to do. Let's do one of the covers. Maybe I'll use them and maybe I won't. But I will cut them down to size just in case. I'll just cut that to 7. Sometimes using a heavier cardstock type of page makes the signature want to pop open. Okay, let's skip on to some other kind of paper. Man, I got a lot of magazine pages out. Children's book page. This is a smaller one. And I don't think I need to trim it lengthwise. Yep, I do, just a little bit. This is from a dictionary, children's dictionary. I can just fold that in half. It's from a really cute vintage book. This is from a book about Madame Alexander dolls. So if you are freaked out by dolls, like my daughter-in-law is, you wouldn't want this book, but I think she's pretty. Maybe she looks a little creepy there with just her eyes. These are some cute pages. This is Goldilocks. I'll have to reinforce that because it's old and it cracked when I folded it. So just to make sure it doesn't fall apart when I sew it, I will, it's got some tape, but it's not the old yellowed cellophane. I don't want it to tear when I sew it, so I will reinforce those pages. Look at that sweet little bear. He's so cute. And this might be from the same book. It must have been some stories. I'm going to save this one for a bigger book instead of tearing that folio apart. Same with that. That little Red Riding Hood. Oh, I made a glue book out of that book. I bought it because I just loved the illustrations. So this book is Fine Points of Furniture. This section is mirrors. I love having these furniture and collectible pages in journals. They're just so fun. I'm cutting it a little shorter than it needs to be, just to have a variety of sizes. More mirrors and some chairs. I love chairs too. I just like furniture. Wish I could afford the kind of furniture I like. But when it comes down to it, I want comfortable furniture. That's what matters. I think I might include some ephemera to go with these journals. Since I'm not going to embellish them, I could just pull out some of the ephemera from my stash because I have plenty. And I'll cut some more of these later. My goodness. My devices are talking to each other. This one is American Victorian Art Pottery and Tiles. So this is another kind of a collectible book. And I love this one. This was about containers, vintage containers. So these are stacks of peanut butter cans. Isn't that awesome? This one has a little squirrel on it. I never saw peanut butter come in cans like that. And these are peanuts. Peanut tins. So this whole book was about tins, I guess. Coffee. So I'll cut some of those pages. Let's do some maps for now. Now this is not an atlas book. It's a series of books from American Heritage, I believe. So it's history, but it has a lot of map pages in it. I don't want to cut that all off. So that'll be a pretty page in a book. I have my I have my iPad sitting in here. I watch YouTube on it sometimes, or listen to music on it while I'm working, sometimes. And one time I had it on when it gave me that notification, and I could see the notice in writing on the screen, and it said, "You have good taste. Someone pinned your pin. Repinned your pin." So that might be what's going on here. Somebody is looking at one of my pin boards on Pinterest, and they're repinning stuff that they like. So I've got to go in there and turn that notification off, because I don't care if people are pinning my pins. They're not my personal pins for the most part. They're just things that I pin. Didn't cut that one right. I thought that looked kind of tall. Okay, so we have some maps, and I will do some more. Let's do some of these fashion ones. They're cool. These are glossy pages, but I just love the fashions. This one with some smaller pictures. I'm going to go ahead and separate that folio. It started out, it went in chronological order, so it started out with fashions from, you know, other decades, and ended up with whatever the current. And some of the modern ones from the 60s were kind of, they were like art, you know, not really made to be worn. But I kept the images of the designs that I liked, or the, you know, just the images that I liked. See this pleated design up here? I don't think that would be particularly flattering, but it's interesting. I like the illustration. I don't have too much longer here, so I think I'll go to some wrapping paper next. Let's trim some off of here. Just a tiny bit down there. Isn't that elegant? This is from 1944. I'll do some of these pages, at least one. I got two of them together, so I'll do them. These are the planner sheets. I think these will be really fun pages in a journal. Journaling spots built right in. Use some little ledger papers. I don't have to cut them at all. I've got music paper, but I want to do some of the wrapping paper before I close the video down. So I have quite an assortment here of wrapping paper. I didn't even get to the scrapbook paper that I pulled. Sometimes wrapping paper and wallpaper are a little difficult to cut, so I just keep them folded and cut it to the height that I need, or whatever way I can do it. And it might be a little shorter than what I need for another journal, but it's okay. You can have shorter pages in journals. So I'm just going to cut this to 7 inches. And now I can straighten it out. And I don't think I want the wrapping paper to go all the way to the edges of the book, so I'm going to cut it at 8 3/4 instead of 9 3/4. It'll just be a little bit smaller. And now that's a text. I'm gonna stop the video soon anyway. Sorry, I didn't turn my phone, silence my phone. Last night I could not find my phone. I was on the couch, finished watching whatever it was I was watching, and I decided to play a quick game of solitaire on my phone before I went to bed. So I did. I played a game. And then I immediately got up and got ready for bed. I had to, just rinse some dishes and put them in the dishwasher, and went in and got ready for bed. And then I realized that I didn't have my phone, and I could not find the phone anywhere. I looked all over. Bedroom, bathroom, craft room, living room, kitchen, everywhere I looked for my phone, and I couldn't find it. And it was too late. Sometimes I text my kids and ask them to call my phone. It was too late for that. So I waited. I didn't have it all night. I waited. Not that I needed it all night, but that's the only way my kids can communicate with me if there's an emergency. So I texted my son, or messaged him on Facebook. I can do that on my laptop. I said, my phone is hiding on me. Can you please call it? So he did. He called my phone, and I could hear it in the bedroom, but I couldn't figure out where it was. I'd go this way. No, it sounds over there. And I go this way. No, it's not. I couldn't place it where it was ringing from. He had to call me 3 times. And then I just took all the blankets off my bed. I thought maybe it's in my bed clothes, in the blankets. No, it was on the floor at the foot of my bed where the blanket came down to the floor, and so it was covering up where my phone. So I put it on my bed when I went in to get ready for bed, and then forgot that it was there, and it fell off onto the floor. But at least I have it now. This one's pretty. Oops, sorry. I bumped you again. Well, like I said, I've got a whole bunch of different kinds of wallpaper or wrapping paper. But I want to do some scrapbook paper too, so I don't know. I guess I need more Reader's Digest. Alright, so I am going to stop the video here, and I will continue cutting papers after I see who's been texting me. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Have a creative day. Bye-bye.